This is JordanTower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe. And well, DK admits that he was the first one to snitch in an interview from 7 months ago, okay? Which proves that Young Thug is a liar, okay? He says that Gunna was the first one and then everybody else followed. Now, another thing that's happening with Thug today is that Woody has basically threatened Young Thug that if his daughter, who I guess was injured in a drive-by shooting that was involving Thug's problems in the past, that's what I'm assuming here, he's going to come after him, which, why would you say that on the internet, you know? But he says this.
And you know what? I'm real pissed off because my daughter got to get surgery. And God knows the Lord he gonna pull her through. He gonna protect her. But if my daughter wake up and she cry and I hear her cry, dog, you're gonna be mine, boy. And you know what? I'm real pissed off because my daughter got to get surgery.
I don't know, man. You know, the internet's a weird place. The internet is a weird place. Then we got... Before I get into this, let's get to this next thing. 50 Cent announcing the characters in his Paid in Full series. Of course, Dame Dash is in his feelings about this because he was a part of the original Paid in Full movie, which is a classic. And we hope that 50 Cent won't destroy this one. But, yeah, he has... all the characters, obviously AZ and Alpo are going to be in it. We'll see. You know, we'll see how this goes. I don't know. You know, 50 Cent's good. But I'm the way Power went, I wasn't too happy with. Some people loved it. Some people hated it. And the way the BMF series went, you just kind of like got us invested in it and then flush it down the drain. So it's like, am I going to get invested in this? Hell nah, because he could have a fallout with AZ. AZ took the stand too. Might have a fallout with him. And then all of a sudden, you know, cancel this series, you know, because 50 Cent isn't putting business ahead of his feelings. You know, I understand that he didn't want to, like, you know, give Big Meech any more of a leverage by promoting him and promoting the BMF series, but I don't know, man. It seems like a little childish the way the whole thing went down on both parts. Big Meech's part and his part, you know, like this could have been resolved at one point, but and then is he ever going to drop a documentary dissing Big Meech? Probably not. But that was just an open threat. That'll probably never happen. Before we get to the YNW Bortlen thing, because that's a lawyer mess. So we can only go by what the lawyers are saying, but I find it hard to believe that they gave him a sweetheart deal for two people that were murdered. And it doesn't hurt YNW Melly at all? It's not a win at all for them? Or do they just not have enough evidence? They seem to have a ton of evidence against Melly and Bortland. Now all of a sudden it's like, all right, let's just get this out of here, you know? Two people are dead. So the lawyers don't want to represent rats because it's bad for business, but we'll get to that in a second. Kim Kardashian and Drake had a sneaky link up in his luxury villa in Lake Como, Italy. Drake hints at this on his Iceman episode 3 freestyle. Lake Como, cigarette boat, cashmere socks, cashmere coats. Yo, man, I'm tired of people looking too much into Drake verses and Kendrick Lamar verses. I saw this video earlier. Drake hidden diss. Look at the license plate of the car he's driving. It spells I Love Virginia, which are shots at Pusha T. Because this guy did some type of math that added up, that equaled 143. And then VA. I was like, bro, these people are crazy, bro. You're breaking down a Drake verse like a kilo. You're about to distribute it in the streets. Like, what? Are you guys crazy? Do you have that much time in your hands? Like, oh my gosh, do you see the headlights? If you add up all the headlights, there's 4 headlights divided by 2, and then the grill has 4 spokes, and he has only 2 headlights on, and then 2 fog lights. You multiply that times 3, and then you get F you, Kendrick Lamar. It's like, stop. Stop it. And if Drake's thinking that like that, it's like, bro, get some help, bro. If you're thinking that far where you're decoding license plates, bro, get some help, bro. Get some help. The state has confirmed Gunna will not be called as a witness. Okay, so a lot of people are giving Gunna a bad rap because he really did do what was his Alford plea, right? And it was pretty much, they had nothing on Gunna. There was nothing he could say or anything to hurt Young Thug. The only thing that was said, which DK said at the beginning, is that YSL is a gang. DK said that before him. So that defense was never going to work with anything. YSL is clearly a gang, right? Young guys trying to do better, or they tried to decode YSL into something else, like young kids, going to school and getting loot or something. I don't know what it was, but it was like, yeah, Gunna took a plea to get out. But you know what? Young Thug should feel guilty that all his messed up BS got Gunna, his artist, locked up. Your artist got locked up, bro. He's not going to do life for something you did. For something you were a part of? Please, man. It's like, stop. Young Thug keeps trying to get sympathy. It's like, dude, you're out. You acted like a jerk in the beginning of your career. You tried to go after Lil Wayne, this. Birdman doesn't mess with you for some reason. I don't know why that. YF and Lucci and you were going back and forth. It's just like, dude, you're in a different place. Move forward. How am I supposed to move forward? You do it. You move forward. And all your little pillow talking jail calls got everyone mad at you. Dude. Anyways, then Jadakiss and Fat Joe, they won $100 million for their podcast. Okay. I mean, Cameron got a lot of money. Maybe you guys will get get a lot of money. Cardi B's doing everything to promote this album. So many skits. I've never seen this before, but maybe it'll work. I mean, she's going to sell a lot anyways. She has already sold a lot because they're going to count streams from past hit songs like WAP and everything. So she's already going to sell like 400 at the gate. What matters is the second week. That's what matters. We'll see. I don't doubt Cardi. Cardi knows how to generate attention, so... And she has a different fan base, so it'll probably work. Now, YNW Bortlen's lawyer speaks out via 1090 Jake, okay? And he's taking back his snitch allegations on YNW Bortlen and saying, he's keeping it gangsta. Let's see what this lawyer has to say, because it's only fair to hear Bortlen's representation.
Jake, thanks for giving me the chance to clear up a lot of the confusion and just chaos that's happening online right now. It's clear that a lot of people just don't understand what has happened. In all, he was facing 5 mandatory life sentences if found guilty, plus an additional 75 years on top of that. And the facts of his plea are that he has pled no contest. That's very important because that means he has...
Okay, so think about that. 3 life sentence plus 75 years. That's like you're never getting out, right? And look what they whittle it down to. 10 years in jail and 6 years probation? I mean, it would have to, his no contest would have to amount to something where there's some justice, right? For 2 people dying. Let's hear more.
He's not admitted guilt. He's not admitted that he's done anything wrong.
But isn't no contest... it's still a guilty plea, right? Am I wrong?
And he's certainly not admitted or given information about anybody else. He's been found...
Not yet, because he has to give a proffer, right?
Found guilty, but in exchange, The state has dismissed the 2 murder counts, the conspiracy to tamper with a witness count, and the charge about directing the activities of a criminal gang. He's going to be sentenced to 10 years in Florida State Prison, followed by 6 years of probation with credit for time that he has served.
Which means he'll be out in like 4 years, because I think he's already been in for a few, right? So he'll be out in a few years with good time.
And he's required, as a part of that, to sit down and give what's called a proffer. Typically, when you hear the word proffer, especially in a criminal case, it's when a witness offers information or will explain what they would testify to if called at trial. Or
isn't this details? Details of what would have happened or what they would have said in a testimony, right?
Or hearing. It's unfortunate that we use that word today in court because that's not what's going to happen in this case. Bortland is not going to sit down and give a lengthy proffer or answer questions about what he would testify to if he were called as a witness, because we don't anticipate him being called as a witness at any trial.
Well, he wouldn't be, because he would already give his proffer, so you wouldn't have to take the stand. They would just have it on paper of his description.
Any hearing, especially not one involving Melly. What I can tell you is that Bortland is not going to implicate anybody else. He's not going to provide information against anybody else. Melly's name is not even going to come out of his mouth when he's talking to prosecutors in this case. I anticipate the conversation with the prosecutors is going to be very, very brief.
Maybe, I'm not an expert. This guy's his lawyer. Maybe he's just going to say, maybe he's taking the rap. I don't know. Did he take the rap? I mean, it says he took the rap for what he did and won't implicate anyone else. So he's taking credit for what he did, and that's it. Maybe this will help YNW Melly? I don't know.
And it is not going to be what everyone thinks it's going to be online, where he sits down and rats or provides information to cooperate against other people. A lot of people are saying that Bortland's plea and his proffer are going to hurt Melly in some way and affect his trial in the future.
I imagine that Drew Findling sat down with these lawyers and they cooked up some scheme to like reduce the amount of time they both get. Okay, this is what I would assume. I would assume now YNW Melly would take a deal for 25 years. Maybe. And like do 15 in with a credit of 6. So he'd be out in 6. That's what I would think. Because it seems like the state does not want to go through another trial. So they'll take a win.
And again, that's absolutely untrue. YNW Bortlen is not going to be a state witness. YNW Bortlen is not going to provide information that's going to impact Melly's trial in any way. YNW Bortlen is not expected to come and provide information against anybody. So to be clear.
Okay, so basically this guy's saying somehow, I don't know how, okay, because I'm not an expert, but it's somehow he got a deal and is not a rat and is not admitting guilt. I've never heard of this before in my life, but hey, it's a crazy world, right?
His plea, his proffer, and anything surrounding it will have absolutely no impact on Melly's trial.
No. Okay, so that's that. I don't know if 1090 Jake got this off of the guy's thing. Oh, okay, he posted it too. So he posted it. So shout out to 1090 Jake for getting to the bottom of that and getting a statement from the other lawyer. And that's that. We'll see what happens next. Again, I'm not an expert, but it's weird. I've seen people get 15 years for murder. You know, like, and then someone that has a Kia Coke gets like 30 years, you know, so nothing surprises me with our justice system. It just doesn't make sense. But anyways, this is Jordan Tower with JT News. I'll check you guys in the next one. If you want more ads in the channel, it's jordantowermedia@gmail.com. Peace.